Happy Pride Month, ladies and gents, and all the beautiful in-betweens. On this beautiful day, or month, of the gays, we will be incorporating my favorite thing ever into this beautiful little wonderful month celebrating all the queers out there. Who is the gayest Godzilla character? Now, not a lot of, if any, Godzilla other fans ask this question. Godzilla other fans, the fuck does that mean? But I am not like other Godzilla fans. I am the outlier, the indisputed, the one who stands away from the rest. You see the title of the video, you know what this is about. Let's get into it. First off, Kate Randa, obviously, our little lesbo queen, had her fair share of, three lovely ladies throughout her life. Keeping them is another question, but she has them. She's been around the block a few times, and of course you have that wonderful little lesbian couple who in the original OG Gojira or Godzilla 1954. They didn't know they were in for they didn't know they were gonna get played in their face by a big ass radioactive lizard for thirsting for vengeance for his killed family. Godzilla and Gearus is a pretty underrated dynamic. Well, amongst the new fans, the posers, as us old heads back in the day used to call LARPers. I feel like this was a pretty popular, at the very least, dynamic amongst the OG Godzilla fans. I mean, it get brought up a lot. And Gearus is Godzilla's first ever rival or a character he's ever fought. So they definitely have the history, and they have the longest history. Honestly, Godzilla's probably had it with any other character, which fucking sucks considering how little Anguirus shows up outside of the Showa era. But yeah, no, I could definitely see these two being, a little bit on the fruitcake side. Godzilla and Anguirus, they probably know a lot about each other, considering, again, oldest history amongst any of the other characters. So, I don't unsuspect that, something did happen between there, maybe Godzilla and Anguirus got a little drunk at one night, a little too much partying on Monster Island, and, one thing led to another. Next thing you know, Anguirus wakes up to the king of the monster, sleeping next to him. And he 100% bragged about it too to the other kaijus. I know they were totally uber jealous. Gamera definitely leans more on the asexual side to me. He hasn't really had any, colleagues or that aren't humans that he can call, close with, or he's teams. Gamera doesn't do a lot of team ups. He kind of just sits by his lonesome, and just chill and, have fighting every other monster here and there. He doesn't really have any recurring enemies except the Gaios. I mean, I guess you can kind of say they have a toxic situationship going on a bit there. Gamera keeps on telling him to fuck off, leave him alone, but they just keep coming back. It's like it's a vicious, nasty Ouroboros cycle. Ultraman definitely gives off pan vibes, pansexual. I think he's pretty inclusive with all the characters, the other Ultra fighters, and all his enemies. I think he can. I think he he doesn't discriminate. He wants them all, and that's honestly king shit. I mean, honestly, we can spend hours, fucking days on this topic, going over every single kaiju that has ever came out in existence, and every single small budget, big budget, short film, major release. All the obscure ones, all the well-known ones. Yada, all this and that. Or we can get to the real meat and gritty in the truth of the matter, in that we can all agree that Gigan is obviously the most gay kaiju of them all. Nigga's first appearance is him collaborating with a man. A multi-headed man. A flamboyantly golden one at that too. No matter what he is in, comics, video games, movies, TV shows, he is almost always with another kaiju, and that kaiju is almost always a fucking male. Being honest to God, I can just say that and end the video off there. I mean, what else proof do you need? Look at him. Does this look like a kaiju that wants to sexually reproduce with the opposite sex to you?